Okay, we're back. It's still pouring rain. I think we got a flash flood. Miss Piper's just eating. All right, and she my little Piper. She's a good eater. She's so strong. She is like, her legs are like muscle. And she's got all these muscles on her shoulders, like her back. It's insane. Strong baby. She's got her cute little baby rolls, but they're more like, they're very few. Like they're more like muscle. And she uses them. She's active. She's always been an active baby. She's a mover. She's always like, even when she's in arms and even when she was little, like she would move as much as she possibly could. Let's see, other things. The pooping. I cannot believe I didn't think this right away. From the time she was a newborn. It was more dramatic when she was young, but she would, she stops everything. And then, and she turns beet red, and then out comes the poop. And that still happens at 7 months old. A little bit more subtle now, but not quite as dramatic, but you still, you know, she still does that. It is so funny. I have a lot of videos of that. She's a very healthy pooper too. We've always been very good with that, haven't we? Look, she hasn't had bad cradle cap, barely any at all. She's got many compliments on her scalp. She looks exactly like me. You see my baby pictures, you're looking at Piper. Her nails grow very fast. I got to do them every week. She doesn't like to have her face wiped down. My mom somehow has figured out how to make her laugh with it. She hates when I do it. She used to not mind, I guess, when it was just spit up. Now that she's like eating solids, she hates the whole wipe down. She loves the water. We do mommy and me swim classes, and she does so good. She goes underwater. She does not like the back float. Floating on her back will send her into tears that are inconsolable till she gets out of the water. So we're working on that. But she loves the water. She's always loved her baths. She will splash and splash and splash and splash. And like, I just fill the tub up just a little bit and lay her back in it. And she kicks and splashes and she laughs and smiles. And she's always done that. And she loves to watch the water pour down and make a waterfall. She used to cry getting out though. She doesn't anymore. But boy, did she cry when she got out of the bath. I think because it was cold. But she would scream her head off, and it was hard because it was like, I gotta lotion you down and then I can dress you. And then you dress her and hold her and she'd be like, oh. And that's the funny thing about her tears. To this day, again, she has only, since the newborn, she cries when she's hungry and tired. I've been very lucky that way. She cries when she's hungry or tired. She used to cry when she was wet. Oh man, the first month of her life, the first 2 months of her life, she despised her diaper feeling even a little bit wet. And we would have to change her immediately. She needed to be dry at all times. After a couple months, she got over that. She still doesn't like to be wet, but she can tolerate it. Like, she doesn't scream. I don't think she's cried with a wet or dirty diaper in a long time. Maybe when it gets really full, but that doesn't really happen because I change her regularly. But that used to make her cry too, but which was really funny. It was always like the checklist of, are you hungry? No. Are you tired? No. Okay, you must be wet. Yep, you're wet. And GW was always very good at changing your diapers. He loved to change you because he loved to see that frown turn upside down. Yes. But yeah, she's really only ever cried since then, and to this day, when she's tired or hungry. And as soon as you meet that, she just stops. Tears gone. And then like, it just changes night and day. It's so fun. Like, there's not even like a wind down, like, okay, I'm not as upset anymore. Like, she just stops. It's very funny. If it wasn't so sad. It was funny. It is funny. But, she's crawling now. I think we've kind of been playing around with that for 2 weeks now. Last week, she really started like scooting, kind of inchworming, I like to call it. She'd fall on her belly and then get back up and then fall on her belly. And in that way, she'd like inchworm it, like this little, like, I can like kind of go, I don't know how you do that, whatever. She'd move very slowly that way. That was like last week. By the But by the weekend, oh my goodness, by the end of the week, I mean, that's how it kind of started. It was really like, she was just shy of 7 months, about 6.5 months old, she officially started crawling, because I call that crawling. She's still moving. By the end of last week, she was really moving. She was in this little frog hop where she'd be on all fours. She'd move her hands out far, and then she'd hop her legs together up, like on her knees. I have video of that. It was like this little frog leap where both of her legs would just hop up together. She'd move her arms out and then hop her legs up, and that was funny. Then we really practiced like crawling over the weekend. And she started with being able to do like a few little steps crawling wise before she fell. And this week she's nailed it. She's still slow and her balance is off a little, and sometimes she doesn't really want to do it. Sometimes she likes just to be on her belly scooting around. Sometimes that's just how she prefers to still move. But she can crawl now. She's like an official, like, I can do the crawl, especially when motivated. Last night she crawled clear across the floor in like record time when she saw I was making her oatmeal with cinnamon, which is really funny. I went into a panic because she wasn't where I left her, and then here she is across the floor, chasing mama. And and she says mama. She goes, mom, 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 mom. So your first word's officially mom. Mom. And you use it appropriately. It's always when you're calling for me. When you want my attention is when you go, mom, 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 isn't it? But she also does this trying to, I don't know what she's saying. We say Piper, we say poopy, we say puppies a lot, so it could be anything, but just, it started when I would go, is when she started trying to go. She's gone through a cycle of noises. She started out with raspberries, and she still does. She loves to just like, she'll just randomly burst into, now she does that most times when she's like tired or hungry. I'll get that, mostly tired. But before, she just liked, when she was pretending and learning that sound, she would just do it all the time. And then she moved on to which she still does once in a while. But I thought she was sick for ages. That was the worst, because I couldn't tell if she had a real cough or if she was playing. It would just be and she thought it was so funny. And now we're in but it is crazy. She has been such a dream, an absolute and utter dream. Oh, burpee. Yes. And man, I don't know, if I had kept up with the blog, I probably would have written more about how hard sometimes some things were. But kind of like I've said here, I think anything that was really feeling like it was unbearable or really like gut-wrenchingly hard was due to lack of sleep. Do not underestimate the lack of sleep. It's really hard when you're tired. But I think I've learned some things, and you know, next baby could be totally different, and I'll learn more things and it'll throw me for a loop, I'm sure. But I have like tools I didn't start with initially that I think I can try now to maybe make sleep better in the beginning. Like, I know more about the swaddling now, and I know about the DockATot, which would have made my life easier if I had that from day one. And I think I know more like to just trust your milk flow too. I don't think I trusted that I'd have enough to feed my baby. And I think to some extent it was in my head that I wasn't producing enough. And then I think I ultimately wasn't. But I think I over worried. She's not eating enough, I'm not giving her enough, it's not enough, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, maybe like she just needed, I had to be more patient with her crying sometimes and just feeding with what we had and like just keep popping her on the boob. To keep learning and be more patient with that. But look, you know what? I remember how hard it was. It's hard when you're that exhausted. I was exhausted. I was. Not so much anymore. Now you're a champ. Sleep like a champ anyway. Yeah. There's her. What are you looking at? the red dot. And you like the red record button? She loves to bounce. Oh my goodness, you're bouncing, 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 bounce. Oh yes, you love to bounce. It'll be interesting if we start, like, she hasn't really started the stranger danger yet. She's a little cautious. She doesn't always smile for people when they hold her, but as long as she's not tired, she's okay with other people holding her. Other people try to hold her when she's tired. It's mama, mama, mama. I want mama. I love how she wants her passy. She just opens her mouth. She waits for it. When she's lying there and she's like tired, she goes, ah, 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 and she opens up her mouth. You've done that forever too. It's so funny. There's a lot of things that haven't quite changed, which I just love. She's still like that newborn in a lot of ways. She loves her puppies, and that went really well. Saoirse and Bella were not sure about her at first. They were always nice, but they just avoided her and were pretty sad when, not so much my attention. I really tried like to make sure I was like petting them and sitting with them, but they saw my attention was divided, and my sleep made it hard for me to have the energy, and I couldn't walk them for like a month. I couldn't walk them. My parents, my mom especially, helped with that. But as she's getting more active, they're getting better, and they adore her now. Saoirse's very protective. I'll put baby down, and Saoirse will not leave Piper's side until I come back. And she's even whined and come to get me a couple times when she's felt that Piper's been upset. And Bella loves to lick Piper's face, and Piper loves Bella to lick her face. And they're very, very patient. We're a very happy family. A house full of ladies, aren't we? A house full of happy ladies. What else? My goodness, I don't know. I would say the other thing that was a surprise is it's amazing. I was so into like, I'll be a minimalist. I'm only gonna get what I need and nothing more because they grow so fast. And then you realize how convenient some things are and how much you need that convenience when you're tired, and especially when you're by yourself. So there's some things I swore, like purchases I would never make, that I've made, like the baby Brezza. When we switched to formula, I can't even tell you how she would scream her head off when to this day, when she's hungry. It would be these tears and just this deep depression, like the world was ending, broke my heart. And 5 minutes to make a bottle in that moment is the longest 5 minutes of your life. And so that baby Brezza, which I never thought I'd buy anything that expensive, was a lifesaver. Hit of a button, formula's done, popped in her mouth. All of a 30-second crying. As opposed to like a 5 minute. And it's a savior in the middle of the night when she wasn't sleeping. It saves you from having to run downstairs and make a bottle. You can just quick hit a button and then go back, get out of the bottle and go back to sleep, which is a lot easier. That's the one thing I missed with breastfeeding, was just being able to roll over and kind of side feed her. But we'll see what happens, when we have a sibling. I'm thinking maybe next June. We'll see. I don't know. Play it by ear. I don't have to make any decisions because I'm just enjoying baby right now. Miss Piper. Yep. My goodness, there's so much I could say. I once in a while I think, I want to write this down or say this so I don't forget. I covered a lot of it. Just her little sounds and expressions were so funny. She was so cross-eyed in the beginning, like a lot of babies are, but she was so like, whoa. Her smile, she's not a big laugher. It's very, she laughs on special occasions. And it's always different. There is not one thing that consistently makes her laugh. It's always different things. You never know what you're gonna do. That's gonna make her laugh that day. But she doesn't even laugh every day, but she smiles. She is a happy, smiley baby. And yes, you are the happiest, smiliest baby, which is so nice. She is just a joy. She'll begin her laughing when she really wants to.
That's okay. You're hard to get there. Once in a while that gets her. But see, a big smile, but not always a laugh. That's not going to make you laugh today. That's okay. She loves to bounce, though. She always wants to bounce. Oh my, I guess that's the biggest stuff. That's been like our journey. She's not really been sick. Although when she got sick, she hated that nose Frida the snot sucker, but I loved it. It's like how I cleared out her nose. But she was a champ with that, even though she didn't like it. She's been healthy. We've been happy. You've both been healthy and happy. We're very lucky. Oh my goodness, I'm just trying to think, were there any other... Oh, she's just so cute. I love her neck rolls. Oh my God, her neck rolls are still there. I never want them to leave. She's always had these little neck rolls, and I love getting in there and kissing those neck rolls. Yes, I do. I love those neck rolls. I wish we could. I have pictures of them. But she just, oh, and I love when she goes, she arches her head way back like that and lets me kiss her neck. And she just sometimes, and I'll kiss her cheek and her jaw and her chin and her neck. It's my favorite. It's my favorite. Are those neck rolls. I've always loved them. And her physical therapist didn't like them. They said, her neck needs to be stronger. She's always had a strong neck to hold her head up. But that was maybe like looser. Like she wanted this more stretched out, because that was another piece of why they said maybe her sucking endurance wasn't as strong as it could have been, I guess, or whatever. We used to have to go to baby physical therapy. I did that all the way until I went back to work, which she loved. We learned a lot of techniques there that she loved. Like she loved being held and like bouncing on the yoga ball, which is the same as a birthing ball that I use. It's all the same thing. But she loved that. Would calm her down if she was crying. She loved to be held and bounced on that ball. I don't know why. We would have to hold her upside down and put a little toy so she'd stretch out that neck. And oh my gosh, when she had her tongue and lip correction, I had to go like this and massage under there, which broke my heart. She hated that. We had to keep it loose from reconnecting. We had a lot of little things. That was like the big thing. She loved bouncing on that ball. She never minded tummy time. She was always a good tummy time baby. But we didn't start till late. I probably didn't start tummy time with her until late. Physical therapy had her doing it, but I didn't really do tummy time until like 6 weeks. 6 weeks maybe. 6 weeks old. I just didn't. Yeah, I don't know. She was always so small. She was 6 pounds. You were 6 pounds. 6 pounds 5 ounces. You were tiny. You're still tiny. She's been in the lower percentile, except her head's nice and big. Oh, wow, 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 wow. I have all that written down, though, so we have that to show you when you get older. I don't know. She loves walks. She always has. She has always loved getting in her stroller and going outside. She loves to look around outside. She's so into watching everything. She's into watching everything. She's into watching faces and mouths and nature, animals. She loves being outside. So we walk a lot. We've always walked a lot, except my first month. But even then, I got cabin fever, and I'd take little baby steps around, walk a very slow mile. Man, oh man, she's just been so good, so good. I don't know. She's very flexible, baby. She knows how to adapt. Very adaptable. And we do what works for us. And she kind of leads, I follow, and that works for us. And I can't believe we're here. I can't believe I waited for you for so long. And just like that, the sun's back out. So crazy. Weather's been nuts. Man, oh man. She loves books. There's another thing I could talk about. She loves books. She's always loved books. She's fascinated by... you coughing at Saoirse? She's fascinated by books. If I'm reading one of her books, she wants to she's like very into the words, and she's watching me read, and she's like, whoa. But she's also reaching for the pages and wanting to look at the pages. So she loves books. She's coughing at you. I hope you're not growling, miss. I've never heard you do that, Saoirse. You okay? It's okay. The baby's just coughing at you. It's okay. She means she loves you. But for a while, we don't do this anymore, but we had like a solid month, maybe when in the 5 to 6 month zone. I think like when she was 5 to 6 months old, the way to get her to sleep, what the trick was, the ways to get her to sleep have changed like constantly. Saoirse, I've never heard you do that. That is not good. What are you growling at? What are you growling at? When you came over closer to her, are you worried about her? Like your lip wasn't curling up, so what were you just talking to baby? Now you're smiling, you're both smiling. Goofy dog. You're so silly, puppy. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, from like 5 to 6 months old, the surefire way to get her to sleep was I'd lie in bed, she'd lie on my chest, and I would just read one of my books. Not like a children's book, just like one of my books, and I'd read it out loud, and out she'd go, within a page or two. We don't do that anymore. Now she likes to just kind of lie next to me and curl up. But we'll lie in bed like that. She will not go to sleep until the lights are off. Like the lights going off in our bed is like the trigger for her to like, oh, it's nighttime, it's time to sleep. Good girl, Saoirse, good girl. Maybe you were was that a worried growl about Piper? It didn't sound like your angry kind of growl. Oh, good girl, now you let her pet you. Did she pet your snout? Good girl, Saoirse. Yes, but the ways that she's fallen asleep have always changed. For a very long time, she was content to just sleep against my chest. And when she was like little, as long as I was holding her, she'd go out like to sleep very easily. As she's gotten older, we've had to kind of mix up and find the ways that she wants to fall asleep. Sometimes she's so tired, I can lie her down on her belly and she'll go to sleep. Other times she needs me to rock her, bounce her, kind of like a little bit. Oh my goodness, she needs her legs massaged a lot. Usually before, like that's like kind of the before bed thing. For some naps too, but she's so like anxious to move and go, that I have to massage her legs sometimes to get her to sleep, which is really funny. Like she'll be screaming and she'll be rocking back and forth on her belly, like burying her head deeper into the mattress, and I'll start to rub her legs and she'll go limp and just like, oh, that feels so good. Oh, that feels so good. But oh my God, it'll be interesting when she walks. She stands up when you just hold her hands. A couple times I've let go and she's held it for a solid second, like stable, like second, which is insane. She can kind of pull herself up a little bit depending on kind of her mood and angle. She can pull herself up to a standing position and hold something and stand, which is nuts. That happened like almost immediately with crawling. Getting all the sounds. But what else about you? She's loved getting changed at Grammy and GW's house because of the handprints on my ceiling. She loves to look at them. So that getting changed, it's just on my bed. We call it the changing table, but it's just my bed there. That's always been one of her favorite places to be because she can stare at the hands on the ceiling and she always laughs on that table. What else? I don't really have to talk about cloth diapers. We ended up not doing that. I didn't get enough And so it was just something I decided to kind of pass on. It was, it's not hard to do at all. Like, I did it a few times because I bought a few to just try it. And it really wasn't hard, just time consuming, more time than I want to spend changing. Maybe if I got used to it some more, but I had to make something, you know, like you said, sometimes you go for things for the convenience and not necessarily anything else. I try to choose my moments with that so that I can put time into the things that need the time. Oh man, she's just funny. We have dinner together. We have to, because the only way I eat is if I'm feeding her too. Otherwise, I don't eat. That's been true since day one. Man, oh man, I'm sure I'll think of other things that I'll want to say down the road. That's the big stuff. That's been life with Piper for 7 months. It's just amazing. Everybody loves her, especially me. We've had a lot of little adventures. Only when she was maybe 4 months old, I think we went. No, it was when I was still on maternity leave, so she had to have been only 3 months old. We went to we went to Virginia, the Virginia Beach area, to visit my cousin Mary Beth and her kids, Swan and Lydia, and she was a champ there. And in the drive too. She's just a really flexible, adaptable baby. She's just always been that way. I think that's maybe why the blog post also fell underway, even though there were like funny things she did and things that would happen. Her personality is just not really changed from just being that like really happy, silly, smiley baby who's really flexible and adaptable. She's like rolling around like crazy. It's nuts. I think I like just covered all the basics basically. If I think of anything else later, I'll add more. I just love this baby. I'm in love. I'm utterly in love. She gets up on her toes too. She pushes herself and gets her up on her toes. It's really funny. Oh my God. You're gonna bonk your head. Hold on, this way. Come here. Come back this way. Come back this way. Yeah, there we go. Good job. Good job, Piper. My students are obsessed with her. They all want a babysitter. Piper came to visit the last day of school for the kids, and oh my God, she was passed around. She was a champ. I can't believe she was as good as she was. She was a little fussy, but she hung in there. Really sweet. Had good times. So many good times. Many more to come. Okay, little miss. I think that's it. I think we'll do some stuff. The carrier is still amazing to have, especially for an in-arms baby. A baby loves to be held so much. The little baby wearing, I've been baby wearing for 7 months, and I love it. And it's the best because I don't like to put her down much either. Been good. Been great. I guess I'll come back another time with my birth story because we're at about almost an hour with 2 of these videos combined. But that kind of updates on all the stuff that's gone on for the last 7 months. And I'll do my birth story another time. Okay. Maybe I'll start being able to actually write from this point, so it's not always just a video that happens, in another 7 months. But I'll hopefully get better at writing. Hopefully with the summer here and not having to teach, I'll spend more time writing and updating on all our summer adventures because we've got quite a few coming up. So that's it. Ta-ta for now. Bye.